Good morning, Rotarians and guests. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Hudson. Our invocation, pledge, and four-way test, and whatever else Phil is going to tell us. It's by Phil Tobin. Morning.
Come to you today, asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support. We begin this meeting. It's fine. Help us to engage in meaningful discussions. Allow us to grow closer as a group and nurture the bonds of community. Fill us with your grace, Lord God, as we make decisions that might affect us and all of those around us. And continue to remind us that all we do today, all we accomplish, is for the pursuit of truth, for the greater glory of you, and for the service to humanity. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
You know, I asked Ron if I could steal 3 minutes to talk about Rotary a little bit today. Sit down, please.
Aren't we going to do the pledge?
Well, let's do the pledge first.
Okay, we can do the pledge. We do that.
You want to lead us, Pat?
Yeah, I'll lead you. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank
And
you.
then the four-way test.
That's coming up. That's coming up.
Oh, you talking about that?
Yeah. This is a little bit, I just did a little bit of research on Rotary, and this is information right off our website. So here, I'll bring it up so that you can. Thank you. Thank you. This is right off our website. And the question is, what is Rotary? I thought it might be worthwhile just to review this with you. Rotary is a global network of 1.4 million neighbors, friends, leaders, and problem solvers in 46,000 clubs who see the world where people unite and take action to create a lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. That sort of gives you a framework of the enormous power and potential Rotary has. Rotary's mission: to provide service to others, promote integrity, advance world understanding, goodwill, and peace through fellowship of business professionals and community leaders. That's the mission of Rotary. What is the one you're very familiar with? The four-way test. And perhaps we can say this together. Of the things we think, say, and do. 1.
Is it true?
2.
Is it fair to all concerned?
3.
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
4.
Will it be beneficial
To all concerns. And finally, I have one more. What are Rotary's core values? Probably don't think about that too much, but let me mention to them, there's 5 of them. Service, fellowship, diversity, integrity, and leadership. I just want to end this with my comment. Rotary has an enormous impact on me. It was almost 30 years ago when Tom and I both decided we were working in the small office of Regis. You remember Regis Smith? And we didn't see anybody. We were in a downstairs office, and the days would go by, we wouldn't see anybody. So Tom and I both decided we've got to reach out a little bit. And we both joined with the help of Regis Smith, Rotary. And I can't tell you what this has meant to us in terms of service. And that's the real meaning of Rotary to me. It's woven into my life because we've really adopted that whole concept of service. Again, my appreciation for Rotary is unbounded. I just really appreciate the relationship we have and the things that we do and the things that Rotary does all around the country. Again, God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil. We have two guests with us today. We have Craig and Amelia Murgatroyd. So welcome this morning. Glad to have you with us. And now our president, Terry Bortnick.
Very much. Good morning, Rotarians. Good morning, guests. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I see we have some red plunked around here. Welcome, everyone. Today, I am going to pass around a sign-up sheet. It's for the four-way speech test that we're going to be monitoring come March. So Western Reserve is going to do theirs in the evening, and they would like any of the judges from our group to join them for dinner prior to the presentation, if you can. So on here, you'll see that their presentation will be on Thursday, March 12th, dinner at 5:15 at the Academy, and I'll get you exact specifics on where to go or whatever if you've not been there. And then the contest will be at 6 o'clock. So that should really kind of be a nice evening. So anybody who is available at that time, they would appreciate as many of us as possible to come and help listen and then critique the kids' speeches, because as you know, two students from Western Reserve and then two students from Hudson will be up here then in the following week or two to do their presentation for the scholarships. Hudson High School is doing theirs in the afternoon on I mixed up my days. Sorry. I had them switched when I did this. I'm sorry. March 12th is a Tuesday. I'll fix this. Thursday, March 14th is going to be Hudson High School. And that will be in the afternoon, as we've always done in the past. So please consider taking a little time. It's actually a lot of fun to listen. Tom will tell you, and anybody who's been there, a lot of you have been there as judges. And that is really a lot of fun. So, and the kids are really excited about it. So it's a good way to spend an afternoon or an evening. Okay. Board of Directors meeting today after this meeting. So of course, anyone is invited, but the board, please, everyone be there. The Gala Committee planning meeting is another one this Friday from noon to 1 o'clock at the Hudson Community Foundation Boardroom as usual. So please be there if you can. And again, anyone is invited to attend, even if you're not on the board of the gala. All contributions are gladly accepted as far as what you think we should do or how it should be done or your time to complete those tasks. Hudson Rotary Foundation next week after the meeting. And this month, our donations are going to Freedom House in Kent. As you know, this is a transitional housing facility for veterans to help get them back on their feet. And it just gives them 24/7 support for therapies and any of their emotional and physical needs to help them, again, get back on their feet. So what we're asking is toiletries, personal hygiene items, and then any non-perishable foods that the facility could use to help feed the gentleman. Okay. And with that, I will be passing around as soon as I make my corrections, this sign-up sheet, and Tom Tobin is going to introduce our guest.
Terry, I was smiling when you were talking about the four-way speech contest, because I mean, I hate to demonstrate how kind of like suspicious or cynical I can be sometimes, but I was thinking about Western Reserve Academy is trying to stack the deck a little bit by offering dinner. So I just want to make sure everyone understands when the judges go to the high school, I think you said it's an afternoon, Terry. I'll make sure there's quite a spread there for, so that the deck is, level. All right. So anyway, with that, in introducing our guest this morning, I guess I was reflecting back on a special thing that we all know about in this club that took place in our town last year, which was a group of dedicated Hudson-minded people doing good things for our community, and that resulted in. And by the way, those people are mostly you to rebuild our Boy Scout cabin for Troop 321. Well, there's another good story. That was the story of 2023. The story of 2024, I will believe, and I will appoint myself to make this decision, is going to be the rebuilding of Safety Town in Hudson, a program that we've had in this community for many years that many of our children have been through, is probably had an amazing influence on teaching our kids to be safe in so many different ways. And to tell us more about that, would like to call to the podium my new friend, Amy Andrews. And she asked me by way of introduction to say a proud Hudson parent. So, Amy.
Moving the gavel out of the way. Thank you, Tom, and thank you to everyone here for having me in to speak this morning. I'm Amy Andrews, and I'm speaking to you as advisor of Hudson preschool parents. James, could you go to the next slide, please? The idea of the organization Hudson Preschool Parents originated in 1970, dreamt up by Irma Lou Griggs as a project called Preschool Mothers, which was created in order to meet a sabbatical requirement for her doctorate. She worked in collaboration with Dorothea Snyder, principal of Evamere Elementary School, and William Pletzer, the superintendent of Hudson Schools, to arrange a series of parent meetings related to preschoolers. In the years to follow, Connie Garcia was completing her master's degree in school psychology at Kent State University, where she met Kay Bayless, a professor of early childhood education. Working together, Mrs. Garcia, Mrs. Bayless, and Mrs. Snyder discussed ways in which Hudson's community and educational system could be enhanced through addressing the preschool population, and Hudson Preschool Parents was founded in January 1973. Their primary goal in forming Hudson Preschool Parents was to build and maintain a strong relationship with the parents of preschoolers, to promote an understanding of the young child's personality and development, and thereby provide for a positive transition into the school system. I became president of Hudson Preschool Parents in May 2021. I'm a former children's librarian and kindergarten teacher and was completing postgraduate coursework in children's literature and focusing my energy on looking ahead to the future of the organization after a very strange year, especially with our 50th anniversary looming on the horizon. Next slide, please. A little bit more about me. I'm a stay-at-home mom of 2 daughters, 1 dog, and married to the man I began dating at 18. We grew up in a nearby Northeast Ohio town, and when he was working for a company based in San Francisco and we had the opportunity to live anywhere in the United States, we headed back to Ohio and settled on Hudson. I love the schools and charming downtown. This was really the only place I wanted to be living and raising a family. He wanted highway access and a home that was low maintenance. And I said, 3 out of 4 isn't bad, right? Next, please. We purchased our first home ever in Hudson in the summer of 2015. Our daughter was 9 months old and we were excited for all of our futures. This was it. Career, baby, classic colonial house on a beautiful wooded lot in a desirable area. We were living the dream. The house had issues though.
Problems that our inexperience told us wouldn't be a big deal, but as it turns out, they were. My husband spent more time crawling on his hands and knees on the dirt floor of the crawl space in those first few weeks of home ownership than he cares to remember. And the many, many pine trees on our lot led to a year-round shade, which was lovely, and dampness we soon found. The drain tile around the house was cracked, and the foundation was holding a lot of moisture. Again, no major surprise for a house that was half a century old, but the problems and necessary home improvements stacked up. Finally, after months of spending our money on things such as sown, topsoil, and grass that were simply being returned to the earth around the house to replace the yard that we had dug up, we had the entire interior of the home painted in the colors of my choosing for my birthday and Christmas gift that December. Our house was becoming a home. There's nothing quite like sharing the hope and joy of the holiday season through the eyes of a child as new parents, and we were back on track. In early 2016, my husband received some unfortunate news. His entire team was being let go from the major West Coast fintech firm he worked for, as they were going a different direction for product sales. Happy New Year indeed. The rate of life's highs and lows were coming at an ever-increasing pace, one which neither of us felt equipped to keep up with, let alone handle well. He began his job search that same afternoon, though, and life carried on. A month later was the next holiday to celebrate, Valentine's Day. And we were spending time together doing exactly what every young couple with a one-year-old finds romantic. Dropping off our daughter with her grandparents so we could borrow my dad's truck and head to the hardware store to pick up a vanity that we were going to put into her bathroom. Next. When we arrived back at our house, the garage door keypad wasn't working, and we didn't have our garage door opener or our house keys, as it turned out. And as we stood in the driveway trying to figure out a way to get into the house, we heard the obnoxious beeping tone of a house or car alarm. But it suddenly dawned on me that in fact, the new smoke detectors I had installed last summer were what we were hearing. Running around to the front of the house, I looked in the picture window and saw nothing but gray. The back window showed the same. The house was full of smoke. And I, the former lifeguard and community helper, shook us from our days by telling my husband that we have to call 911, and he dialed the number. A police officer was the first to arrive and discovered that the fire seemed to be coming from the basement. Fire engines came screaming into our neighborhood from Hudson, as well as 2 neighboring communities, as we did not have fire hydrants in our neighborhood. And just like I had only ever seen on TV, I stood frozen on the edge of my driveway and watched as a firefighter with an axe chopped down the perfect red original wooden front door that I loved, and the brigade rushed inside on February 14th, 2016. I won't talk in too much detail about the aftermath. The fire originated in the crawl space and burned up the back of the house through the playroom. The restoration and claims process was a nightmare. And my short story version is that the restoration company knew we were living with my parents nearby while out of the house. And with no real pressure from the insurance company to get the job done, work that should have taken 6 weeks took nearly 6 months. Next. We moved back into our house in late August. We welcomed our youngest the following January because I bet what you're thinking, every stressed out couple with their hands full needs is another baby on their hands. As I was explaining to Marilyn the last time we spoke, this process forced us to grow up very quickly. And while I wish none of it had happened, it has given me tremendous perspective. I consider myself a fairly optimistic person, and as such, I carried on in the way I felt was necessary. I'm a stay-at-home mother living in Hudson, Ohio, living the dream. How hard is life, really? If I take a look with a wider lens, I can see that even with all of these problems we were facing, I had it really, really good. I needed to find community, though, my village. I now had a baby and a 3-year-old who was set to begin preschool the following school year, which is exactly where Hudson preschool parents came in. The former educator and me missed collaboration amongst peers, and it was exactly what I needed at that time in my life. In 2017, I was giving back to a group of families with young children planning field trips and outings to local businesses. From there, I took on our publicity role and created a digital newsletter and social media presence for our group from 2019 to 2020. And then, as I mentioned previously, I held the position of president from 2021 to 2023. The Tree Maze at Hudson Springs Park was the organization's 25th anniversary community gift. When my oldest started kindergarten in fall 2020, as the last class of students to attend school at Evamere, and then completed Safety Town the following summer, also at Evamere, it became clear to me that there was a lot of potential for the future of the program, especially since kindergarten students would now be going to school at McDowell. When I approached the Hudson Preschool Parents Board about building a Safety Town in honor of our 50th anniversary, they loved the idea, but we weren't entirely sure where to get started. Next, please. Since I was also the building rep for the McDowell PTO, I discussed the idea with Beth Travelli, the principal, as well as officers Joe and Matt, our two school resource officers at the time, and knew we had all of their support to pursue the idea further. I approached the school district in early 2022 and asked if this project seemed feasible, if they even wanted to accept this very strings-attached gift that Hudson Preschool Parents was offering them. Fortunately, Meredith Safran, Director of Hudson Community Education and Recreation, said yes, and we were on our way. Next slide. The Hudson Preschool Parents 50th Anniversary Fund was created to support the construction and ongoing maintenance of a Safety Town at McDowell Early Learning School, where the integrated preschool program and kindergarten classrooms are housed and will remain for the foreseeable future. And James, could you click on the picture of the map to bring up the plan, please? Thank you. The playground will be used by preschool and kindergarten students for learning and play opportunities throughout the day, Hudson Community Education and Recreation for Safety Town classes in the summer, and families that visit the playground outside of these times. Children will be able to learn traffic signals and the rules of the road as they move around the town, as well as engage in pretend play of games of hide and seek for fun with friends and family members. Our hope is to include elements such as miniature buildings and shops recognizable from around Hudson, painting to mimic roadways and crosswalks, signage for streets and traffic safety, and working traffic signals such as a stoplight in the design of the project. The overall design of the Safety Town will be inclusive, and we plan to work with the intervention team at McDowell to include accessible interactive elements for all children to explore, play with, and practice motor skills as well. A designated fund at Hudson Community Foundation has been created to assist us in making our vision a reality. Money raised will be used for project needs such as grading and concrete, painting, electrical, construction of buildings and shops, seating, and landscaping. Additional funds raised will be used for the ongoing maintenance of the Safety Town playground features. While I wouldn't say I feel fortunate for all of the twists and turns that have come our way, I'm fortunate for the opportunities that it has created, like being able to speak to you this morning. I miss collaborating and what a community effort this project has become. I'm comforted by the fact that the more things seem to change, the more they stay the same. And in closing, I would like to share something that was written in the first Hudson Preschool Parents newsletter published in October 1975. It's an opening statement taken from Newsweek, which was published September 22nd, 1975. This year, 6 million Americans will take a step that will significantly change their own lives and profoundly affect the next generation. They will have children. How they raise these youngsters will have a greater impact on American society than the way that they vote, the technologies they produce, the wars they wage, or the art they create. And yet, perhaps never before in US history have parents faced more choices, felt more pressures, or sought more professional help in the rearing of their children. James, could you go to the last slide, please? I'm here if you'd like to ask any questions or share your thoughts. And thank you again for the opportunity to speak about this project and supporting the project at your upcoming gala. It means so much to our organization to have the support of other community groups, helping us create something for future generations to enjoy. It's been a lot of fun to work on, and I'm very excited to see children playing and learning in this space very soon. Thank you. Any questions?
I'm curious about the kind of safety objectives that the playground is going to be designed to encourage Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So the design itself, the playground, and kids are playing on it in Safety Town. They'll be able to ride through on the roadways, practice those traffic safety skills. So basic stop, go, right side of the road for driving, taking turns at the intersections. We've also been in contact with a traffic safety company that has agreed to donate a working traffic signal and a crosswalk that chirps like the one that's in town. So kids will be able to practice using the crosswalk, and then with that, bike safety as well.
Will that include stuff about how to safely ride your bike in a
Yes,
town full of people that like to pass on the right?
yes, distracted drivers, yes.
Safety Town, the program goes
Mhm.
beyond just understanding
Absolutely.
like how traffic works.
Absolutely. Gun
Could you
safety,
talk
water
about that a
safety.
little
Sure.
bit?
So they talk about a variety of topics: gun safety, water safety, stranger danger, things like that, that children you hope are talking about with their families at home. But I think as a librarian, I can speak, and as a parent, these aren't always topics that come up easily with children, especially today, and you don't always know where to start. So the police department and high school volunteers work in the program, and they have quite a bit of content that they review throughout the week. So they are using the Safety Town with the road safety as well, but this was really a supplement to the classroom learning that takes place.
Something near and dear to you, fire safety is part of this
Yes,
as well. Because I
absolutely.
know that the fire department brings a unit currently down. I assume they will in the future
Yeah,
too.
it's a trailer that fills with smoke so the kids can crawl through it and see firefighter Kevin in his gear, of course, and then crawl through that space, hearing the smoke detectors to get through and out of the trailer safely.
And remind me again, so Safety Town traditionally has been what, a 1 or 2 week long program in the
It-
summertime?
They've been holding up to 4 sessions, and they meet 2 weeks, AM and PM, 2 sessions a week. It could expand. There's more potential for that, but it's open to all children in Hudson. So whether you attend Hudson City Schools, Montessori, or Seton, you're able to participate as a Hudson resident.
And so historically, Safety Town is, I mean, the most recent.
Yes,
The program is still going on.
Yes, it is. Yes. No,
You,
but my youngest Grace was there in front of the clock tower with the cars. They have moved the cars and the buildings that they used previously to McDowell, and they set them up in the gym.
Yeah.
And then the kids get to ride around in the gym to, practice.
so just to provide a little bit of perspective, I think a number of years ago, Kiwanis had funded
That's right.
the previous incarnation of Safety Town's facility
Mhm.
on the edge of Evamere.
Right.
And you'll see a gray pole
Pad.
barn building over
Mhm.
there that Kiwanis did, and a concrete slab outside of it. And you'll see the markings of streets and everything like that. And the building itself was designed to hold all of the mini buildings
Mhm.
that they would put up on the concrete pad to represent the town or the traffic,
Right.
the
Lots
but-
of setup every summer, and then the children aren't actually using it throughout the school year. It just is there these couple of weeks, and then it gets put away until the next summer.
So this version of Safety Town, am I correct? Is this more of a permanent?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this, in the image on the concept plan, that's actually, James, could you scroll down, please? If you look, that is the existing McDowell playground.
So what we're looking at is your website.
Oh, yes, but if you scroll down, that concept plan is here
Oh.
as well.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Mhm. And that is, oh, excuse me, this is my bus alarms.
That's one of the new houses that will be part of
Correct.
Safety Town, was that white one that we saw
Correct.
just above that.
That's the spec house.
That's
and-
the spec house. You're going to be building other ones. And I know Marilyn Orr had proposed the idea, and I think I heard that you all were going to support the idea of having a building like this that is in the design of
Of the cabin.
log cabin
Yes, that's
in
correct.
honor of our club's contribution to
Correct.
Safety Town, which I think we all should feel really good about that. But I wanted to say, a long-winded way of getting there, but I'm so thrilled as a school board member that we're going to have a permanent Safety Town facility at McDowell, where the students who are probably best oriented, or that Safety Town is really oriented toward them, where they are. And they're going to be able to use this, not just
No, all year.
in the summer, but I mean, this is going to be available to them throughout
Mhm,
the year,
mhm.
which I think is just fabulous. So.
And if you think about it, they do a Hudson project in kindergarten, and this is a miniature community, and that's so much more than just safety. That's becoming a community member. That's working with others. It's, you know, behaving in a society.
Can you explain that concept there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Detail.
So what you're looking at the top is a shed that is existing, and then the brown buildings are all proposed to be added. So that is another shed that could be added to store the cars there at the school. And then this part behind it is the library media center. And then down this side is the majority of the kindergarten classrooms would be looking out at it. So what is there is already, a lot of this is already at the playground existing. They would be widening the concrete to add a two-way roadway. And then through here are different features, such as we said, there's the kitchen behind this. So this could be a grocery store potentially. Then you come down here, this is a railroad crossing. And as a Hines Hill resident now, we obviously want to discuss this. This leads you back into that grocery area. And then this would be set up. We talked about, this piece already exists for kids to climb and walk on, like a balance beam. We talked about adding a gas station nearby. And then down here, this will all be laid. So this is the playground climbing structure that is there. This concrete will be laid for the houses to sit around as another path. And then hopefully, we've talked to one of the kindergarten teachers about constructing the clock tower to sit out here in the center. Because what you saw for the spec house design is what the students in the construction technology program are going to be building. And they'll be making those identical to keep costs low and the impact on their students. And then we're going to have students in Hudson's AP art class paint them and provide details that look like those buildings in town. So if you keep going around, this is a proposed barn with some farm animals outside for the students. This is called a click-clack bridge that they'll be able to ride across with wood laid in the concrete. And then there's that another railroad crossing coming through. I don't remember exactly what the 16 was. And then just more proposed features for the signals and stop signs for traffic safety. Yes.
Amy, can you give me an idea what your total expectations of funding is and how well you're progressing along that path?
Yes, so the construction estimate for the district was $30,000, which we did raise in 2023 for the 50th anniversary. I have that breakdown here. So we had $12,000 came from 4 of the house level donors at $3,000 each. 2 of those were private, 2 were from organizations, the Hudson Community Foundation and the Children's Center. We had a $500 business donor from Jumpstart Sports, and then 1,875 assorted individual and family donors, and a little over 15,000 from Hudson preschool parents.
Expecting funding more as it goes on?
Yes, because my thought was that a construction estimate is wonderful, but I would hope and I assume that they're adding more once this is completed with the landscape and ongoing maintenance and other features that will be added. And my personal goal, the organization's goal, was to get to $50,000 in honor of 50 years, but to know that there was money remaining in the fund when we were finished with this project. So it didn't just fall back on the district and say, please take care of this for us now.
Cool.
I have a couple questions or a couple comments and a question. Well, first of all, as you can see on the website, there's a donate here button. And so donate today. So if you go to the website and like to support it individually, it's there. I think Terry has already listed that home for, it's a starter home for about 250,000. So that
Yeah.
could,
Right
but
there in Windermere.
it's
Well, it's a little small.
a little small. So you can get a deal. But
Great
one
location.
comment about the impact of Safety Town. A grocery chain I worked for that, I won't say who it is, but it rhymes with Minans, uh, had a program to promote healthy eating. And with it, they bought all these posters, a fairly large expense, of kids doing various activities like riding bikes or riding horses and being very active. And they put them up in the store, various stores, and they had it up in the store in Hudson. But they had to take them down because they kept getting comments from the kids saying, those kids in the pictures aren't wearing their helmets. So to show the impact of Safety Town, that was the first thought that came to these kids. So with that, you may have mentioned it, but might you also get funding from businesses who would, have a building in Safety Town with their name on it?
Yes, correct. So Hudson Community Foundation is the one of them. And then at this time, the Children's Center is the other business. There's two other places being sponsored privately, Open Door Coffee Company and the Hudson Fire Department.
So I just wanted to comment too on the
At this
You know-
time, I should say.
projects like this can get to be very expensive
Mhm.
sometimes, but when there's people like you, preschool parents that are keeping an eye on, and squeezing those nickels hard,
Mhm.
I mean, you can get projects, high impact projects done for a reasonable cost. Which I mean, if you'd asked me, $30,000 to $50,000 for this project seems very low. Like if we were trying to execute this within the school district, I think it probably would be a bit higher. And I'm not trying to say anything. I mean, obviously I'm a school board member. I mean, I try to squeeze nickels for the school district
Right.
as hard as I can. But one of the things that you've done, and you mentioned this, but I just want to reflect back on it again, is we have this, you have the students from the 6-district compact, and we're going to hear more about the 6-district compact going forward. But these are students who, the program is at Kent Roosevelt High School. And one of the 27 or so 6-district compact career tech programs is one in construction. And these mostly young men and women are out there learning the art of constructing buildings and
Mhm.
things like that. And
Mhm.
I'm so thrilled that you were able to engage them in this project to build
Me too.
the houses and
Mhm.
whatever else is
Mhm.
they're going to be able to do to help make this project
Mhm.
come to be. So
Right. Oh. Mm.
I did. I did. Come on, who else has a question?
Anything? Be a wonderful safety town. We could all learn from it, right? Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Amy. And I will say, when I moved here in 1980, I had 2 toddlers at the time and another one on the way. And Preschool Parents was one of the first organizations that I was introduced to get to know people. And it was in its youth at the time, but we still had a lot of fun with it. We did a lot of fun things, and it was a great organization. I'm glad to see it's still here and thriving and doing good things in the community. It's a great thing. That's what makes Hudson Hudson, folks. Okay, so Amy, if you would help me, please. We have a a payout today of $8 and a jackpot of $138. If you would pull a ticket, please, we'll get our big winner. Oh, oh, nice. Okay, so our winner today is number 924922. Oh, Mimi, it's your day. For a sweetheart on Valentine's Day. How nice is that? Let's see if you can pull off the big one. Yeah. Oh, not today, but happy Valentine's Day anyway. Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay. All right. Board meeting immediately following, and get out there and have a lovely day today. Take a few moments to love all your people, and happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I don't have my gavel. Oh. Get scared. But a hard time getting all the